the winner of Eradication Season 3 Live.
Will it be Athanamel, the challenged beast who insulated himself as the most trusted ally of the Minority Alliance? Dante, the sole remaining outlaw of the Majority Alliance, who constantly was the decision maker of the game? Or Miles, who held a tight ally in Noah, but bounced back by aligning with Athanamel and emerging as the leader of his alliance? Only one right stands between them and the jury. Who will fall short, and who will take home the crown? Find out now on
Our final three for Season 3, Dante, Athanamel, and Miles. One of you is going to win, and we're just about to find out who that is. Everyone take one deep breath after that, Riot.
Oh my
That's what
god, that one was so
feels
fun.
like.
That was a
That
great
was so
one.
much fun.
For a spot in the final two, here we go.
Oh,
You must
God.
create your own faction of 2. It's the same rules as last round. You make your own faction of 2. Whoever you leave out will be in the riot. All right? If someone is in everyone's faction, they have a confirmed seat at the final verdict where they get to plead their case to win. Is that clear?
Yeah.
All right. You have access to just 2 rooms, which is the cafeteria and the commons, because there's a room limit of 2. Someone's going to be left out. But if you want to just leave that person out and hope they don't put you in, up to you. I wouldn't recommend it. Return to the courtyard in 4 minutes. Your time starts now.
Alright, what are you thinking?
Ethan's got 2 votes to win.
Yeah, I feel like I'm a great person to bring to the end.
I think the only person you would have is what's his name who just got out. I'm so out of it.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people were angry and put me in like the deciding vote for a lot of things. I mean, I'm happy to go with whoever. I mean, is there a strategy with like working as a 2? I don't think so, right?
I mean, I think it's like Ethan gets to choose who he goes against.
Right, and he'll probably choose me, which I'm okay with it.
Yeah, but I feel like I would have a better shot.
You're
with
offering
you.
to like protect me somewhat.
I'm gonna put Miles Dante right now.
Okay, me
It is
too.
what it is.
That is what it is. All right, dude.
He
It's
knows
been,
exactly what I'm doing too, but
been fun.
at least one of us are making the finale. It could be a possibility of 2. So, I mean, obviously,
Yeah,
like,
honestly, at this point,
good luck.
the
I
odds
mean,
are, we're gonna go in. So.
yeah. All right. Good luck.
All right, I can chill here if you want to talk to Ethan, or we can be civilized.
I don't want you to think I'm conspiring against you. I might just be honest with him.
Okay, I'll go in.
Well, it seems to be just me here, and I think Dante would be silly if he didn't put my name down. I think the best chance that I got to say against him is that I think I finished first in most of these things so far. I'm sure they're making little deals out there, but it's what you gotta do. I would love to get my pitch to them, but these freaking room limits. I'm stuck here. Hello, Miles. Welcome.
I played a little to Dante.
No, I
I'm obviously still doing you and me.
you and me down.
Yeah.
I case to Dante though, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Of course. Hey, good luck.
Good luck. Ooh, I think I got Dante to already put it down, unless he's just lying to my face. But I lied to Dante's face. Might not work well at the end, but hey, it got me a guaranteed spot in the final too. It's too good to be true. I thought it got when I was gone for like how long? Like 3 minutes looking for apple, and my mom was telling me there's an apple in the fridge, there's an apple in the freezer. I'm like, where? I don't know if you heard me in the background yelling, but I was fucking yelling. Oh my god, I don't know. I'm hoping Dante sticks true. I've always like had a little thing with Dante. Not when I say little, very minuscule, minute, and I don't think that Ethan had much with Dante. I was like, Dante, I saved you last round. Not that it means much, but I didn't. I didn't send you into the riot with me. Final 2. I need to start thinking about how I can make it to the end, just in case I will still feel mentally prepared for an elimination or a riot right now. I will definitely say that I was not afraid to be vocal. I was not afraid to voice my opinion. People I stuck with them for a reason, and I knew how to get to the end as being loyal, but also talking to some people on the other side and creating distrust between them. I'm the one who told Taylor about JC running to my call, or VC running to my call saying, "Oh, the girls kicked me out." So I turned that on JC. VC, I turned that on VC, and I said, "Hey Taylor, VC has a thing for the woman that like the woman kicked him out," and I don't know if that's true, but that's what he told me. And then that caused a little blow up there, and then more blow ups proceeded during that round of 5. What can they be talking about up there? Unless Dante really lied and just didn't lock in a vote, but I don't know.
Y'all, what a journey. I'm here with 2 people who are probably, I mean, I feel like they've been together for the whole game, so I don't see.
All right, Dante.
Hey, what are you thinking?
So here's my thought process of why you shouldn't throw me in. And
Okay.
you were just talking with Miles. I like Final 2. I am pretty confident that you would also like to get to the Final 2.
Yeah.
I'll be straight up. Miles and I are writing your name down. We have been loyal to each other.
Yeah, I'm going in. I knew that.
It's gonna go in. My pick to you is that if you would like to make it to the Final 2, that I feel like I am harder to beat in these, just based off of the performances so far. So you would be more likely to make it to the Final 2 if you were playing against. You choose who you go against. That's at least the nice blessing that you have. You get to pick
Right.
who you get to go against.
Yeah. Damn.
Oh, and you don't have to beat around the bush at all. Like there's no,
No,
like this is all just for fun.
Yeah.
But that is my pitch. I do believe that I would be a little tougher to beat in one of these things, and I think Miles is a little bit easier to beat than myself. So if you would like to get to the Final 2,
So it's going to be a matchup between me and one of you 2.
yes,
One of us will leave,
one of us will leave.
and then that's the final 2. So the game is pretty much over. It's just
The
one
game is
battle.
pretty much over. Yeah, it's just one
Yeah,
more
it's just a
riot.
battle. Frig. I'm always the deciding vote. It's like
Every time. That's been your.
I'm literally, everyone's gonna be so angry because like I voted them out. Let's
Are you
see.
kidding me? I think you are everybody's best friend. Like, I truly believe you beat both Miles and myself in the end, without question. I think that you have so many friends, and even though you may have burned them, I've never talked to Hudson, I never talked to Taylor, and I talked to Hana one time, and that's the majority of the votes right there.
Yeah, I talked to Hana like a few times, but she saved me so many times. It's like so thankful.
I really think that against me, you will win.
All right, time to drag them back. Here they come.
Okay, I'll think about it. I appreciate that.
Hey,
All right. You have 1 minute to submit your final faction. That time starts now. Time is up. I've collected the factions, and we're going to do the same thing. Alphabetical order, this time starting with Dante. This is for a spot in the final 2. Dante, you are in Final Riot. Ethanimail, you are in the Final Riot. That leaves Miles. Miles, you are safe. And in the final 2, you will get your chance to plead your case to the jury of why you should win Season 3. Congratulations. You can, if you want to give a confessional about it, we're going to move right on into our final riot, which is always the same competition. It's called Final Standoff between Dante and Ethanimail. Miles,
Yeah, I
go
wish
ahead
I
and turn
studied.
off your camera in this channel. This is indeed a quiz competition, but it's not your normal quiz competition. I'm going to go ahead and show you a letter puzzle of sorts. The letter puzzle itself will change from prompt to prompt. You just have to figure out what it's saying and give me the answer to what it's saying. So, for example, it could be a letter puzzle that secretly says, what is the host's name? And you would then say, Florangi. And then that would be correct. You have to be the first one to call it out loud. If you're the first one to call out loud and you're correct, your opponent will get a trivia question about the season that they will have 10 seconds to answer. If they are correct, all is good, and we move on to the next round. If they get it wrong, they get strike. 2 strikes, and you're out. 2 strikes, and you're out. You can only get 2 questions wrong. Questions are tough.
Good luck, Dante.
So you're going to want to get these letter puzzles correct.
Yeah, no hard feelings.
No, of course not. Do we need our Sharpies for this, by the way? I don't know.
No.
Like, I've just been sitting on that, and I just wanted to make sure.
No, we just need it in case you had to write something down. Also, is also going to be used for the jury questions competition, which we would have also done if Miles is in the riot, but we're not doing that. And we also would have used, by the way, that memory competition for a final 7 or final 5 riot if it happened, and it didn't. So I'm so sorry for making you memorize.
Thank God. I had 0 of that.
Final standoff.
Yeah, I wish it was that. I had the whole thing.
Final standoff. Ethanimal versus Dante. I'm going to show you the letter puzzle, and you have to call out what you think the answer is. If you get it wrong, you yourself will be asked the trivia question. Does that make sense?
Okay. So wait, we have to
Here we
say
go.
what the question is and the answer?
No, you just say the answer. It's good
Alright.
clarification. All right, here we go. First question now. If you say the wrong answer, then you're in the riot. Then you're in the trivia.
4.
The correct answer was how many vowels are in adieu. 4 is correct. Dante, your trivia question. You have 10 seconds to name 4 of the 5 free jurors. Go. 5 seconds left.
Jazz.
Dante got a remarkable 1 pre-juror correct. Dante, that is 1 strike against you. 1 more, and Ethanimal will be sitting in the final 2. Here comes your next letter puzzle.
Yikes.
Free.
The correct answer is, what numbered season is this live game? The correct answer was 3. Dante, your trivia question. 10 seconds to answer. What was the name of the first riot? 5.
Cup Bridge.
Time is up. The answer was I love Eradication this much. Dante, I'm so sorry. You have been eradicated.
Good
Please
game,
turn off your
Dante.
camera and microphone. Ethanimal, congratulations. You have earned a spot in the final 2. You, alongside Miles, will plead your case to the verdict of why you deserve to win. Here's how we're going to do this. There will be no opening statements. No opening statements. We will actually bring in the jurors one by one, starting with Modern, and they will have 2 minutes to interrogate both of you to figure out who they should vote for to win. After which, you will get to have closing speeches. Ethanimal, since you won the riot, you can choose. Would you like to have the first closing speech or the second closing speech?
I would like to have the second closing speech, please.
So, Miles, your closing speech will be first. Oh, not me forgetting my plan. There will be an opening statement, and then individual questions, no closing speech. So, Ethanimal, would you like the first opening
Second,
statement
please.
or the second? Second opening statement. All right, so Miles will go first. I just need vocal clarification that our 5 jurors are here. That would be Modern. That would be Hannah. That would be Taylor. That would be Hudson. And that would be Dante. Miles, I will give you 2 minutes for your first opening speech. All right?
Yeah.
Your time starts now.
This is giving me PTSD because I just lost $400 from a vote of 5-4 to 1. I lost by 1 vote in the Survivor game. But here we go again. I was also the first person to do the opening speech. However, going to the game, I started a call. I mean, I got in a call with 4 people. It was me, Mac. I'm forgetting the names, but it was those 4 people, and then Jess. It was my idea. Well, everybody agreed to it. I'm sure other people would have been fine with it too. I was like, "What are this for?" Is a thing. Very first round, it worked out. We pulled Jess in. That was a 5, and then from there, I had those people that I trusted, and obviously, it's obviously easier to play the middle game and everything because you can have more sway. But people having your back, staying on one side, is a lot more beneficial than not. My biggest hurdle in this game was when Noah got out. Hana did a really great move by pulling in those 4 other people. I feel like I would have had an even easier route to the end if that did go my way, but Noah going left me with Ethan, and I definitely used the card that Modern was left out, that he should be factioned with me and Ethan.
I think one of the big things that I did was, in the final 6, I created a lot of paranoia about who was with who was factioning with each other. And yes, I did have, the only thing that I could trust was Dante telling me that he would be with Ethan, but I thought at the very minimal that everybody should be going into the riot, and I think that's what happened. It was paranoia and confusion. Going to the final 2, it was just loyalty from there, and I will say that Ethan and I play very similar games. However, what stood out for me was that I was a lot more vocal, and I did talk to a little more people than Ethan did on the other side. I got Dante to save me in the final 3. I think that shows a lot. When we played similar games, how I stood out to Ethan was that I was talking a little more to the other side, and I can't really compare physical games because it's Eradication, and we just survived everything that we got put in. Socially, strategically, I think I did the most compared to Ethan, and I implore you all to ask me challenging questions because I can't get my words out right now. I'm panicking.
Thank you. Ethanimal, your opening speech, you have 2 minutes and your time starts now.
All right, to start things off, I have never played anything before. This is my first time playing an org-like game. And when I started this, I just didn't want to be the first one out. But once I was able to get past that first round, I started putting on Steam, and I really think that I earned my way to the end here. Not only was I in one of the only people in the first 5, along with Miles, of course. But after that, I lost ally after ally after ally. I did not have numbers going into the final 7, but I was able to keep making my way forward. I think I was put into 4 riots, and out of those 4 riots, I finished in first in 3 of them. And I know that the physical game isn't everything, but I took risks. I was the first person to talk about the skulls. I was the first person to put that out there. I was the person that just sent home Dante, who I believe was the biggest threat at the end. Dante, you did an incredible job of just flip-flopping back and forth. And although I would have loved to have not participated in that final thing, I'm glad that I was the one that was able to take you out. As for the final 6, Miles stated that he was throwing a little bit of trying to cause a little bit of paranoia out there. I also was doing with Hana and Taylor. I tried to throw out there that I would like to just form a 3 with them, and then instantly I went over back to Miles because I was truly loyal to Miles. So I too was trying to cause some paranoia because that was the optimal play to do. Ultimately, you all figured that out as well. Nobody got a ticket out of the final 6, so we had to fight our way past that one. But in the end, I do think that I should be the person that wins this Eradication. Like I said, I won the last 2 riots. I finished first by a long shot at the final 4, and I mean, I've been talking really fast, so I don't know if I necessarily need my full 2 minutes, but I really do believe that I was a little bit more out in front, and that's why I think that I should be the winner of Eradication Live 3.
Thank you, Ethanimal. Jurors, you have heard the opening statements, and now you yourself will get an opportunity to, in private, interrogate our 2 finalists. Could I please ask our jurors 2 through 5, meaning everyone but Modern, to go ahead and go into our cafeteria. Keep your cameras off and your microphones muted. We do not want juror
Do we have
contact.
closing statements?
You do not have closing statements.
Okay.
So essentially your closing statement is going to be to each of these individual jurors. All right. We still have Modern in this call. Modern, you get yourself 2 minutes to, with your camera on, please, interrogate the two finalists. I will say the 2 minutes goes by quick when you're asking questions and when you're getting answers. So make sure you're aware of the time. I will cut you off at 2 minutes no matter what it is. All right? You can spend that time however you want. You can ask just one person questions for the 2 minutes, or you can spread the love. Up to you. Your time starts now.
Congratulations to you both.
So the year is 3098 and aliens have taken over the Earth.
Hello, gentlemen. Congratulations on
Thank you,
getting
Taylor.
to the end.
All the world leaders have completely given up. They have no idea what to do, so they delegate all their power to you.
Congrats.
Thank you, Dante.
Yeah, no hard feelings. Respect to everybody.
And you're like, yo, I got this great idea. All we have to do is mass produce a dessert for the aliens like every single year. And as long as we do that like every 5, maybe 10 years, we can survive and not be enslaved to make it forever. What dessert do you send the aliens and why? The Phantom go.
I found in the game, like, my hardest moments were when I came into the round thinking like, oh, I have to take care of like X, Y, and Z person, and I wasn't thinking of myself. So if you can, is there like a moment where you did that? Like you thought about your own self before like your alliance with each other?
Yeah, there were 2 key points that this happened. The first was way on in the early beginning of the game, and that was with Maximo. And Miles, you said this about Noah, so I think it's okay to say to you, I consider Maximo to be my number 1 after the first bits of the game. But that's earlier in the game. That's probably not as important. The second time was with Modern. I thought that I was losing numbers over and over and over again. I've talked about this many times, and I thought that I finally got something when Modern joined. And then boom, a bombshell hits, pairs of 2s, and I have to lose Modern. I couldn't risk losing the loyalty that I had shown to Miles and that perception that I have of being loyal.
So I tried to protect my allies as much as I can, but obviously I was going to stay either way. I made deals with people saying that I would go rogue for you if you were to go in the riot. I was a lie. That was a lie. I wouldn't do that. I would save my own game first. They might have done it for me, specifically Noah. Yes, I was with Maximo. I was the one who said, us 3 right here. And Maximo joined. I was the one to say, Maximo, I'm sorry, but we're together. You got to find someone. And I said, VC, Maximo, you guys try to find the 3rd person right there.
So for me, this is an easy question for me. I love key lime pie, and I think there's a couple reasons why they might like it. A, aliens are typically, they're shown as green. Key lime pie is green. It's a peace offering to them. Second of all, key lime pie is delicious.
All right, Miles, go.
Okay, me, IRL. I'm gluten-free, dairy-free, sugar-free, grain-free, simple rice, no potato, corn. I'm starch-free, I'm soy-free, I'm organic, and more. I also like to cook because of that. So for me, I cook cinnamon cake. I make mean cinnamon cake. No sugar, so I do honey instead. And I think honey is very sweet and everything.
Okay, so Miles, kind of starting with you. You mentioned that like Noah being voted out was being like one of your biggest hurdles. What do you think? How different would your game be if he had survived?
Well, then I considered, I'm sorry, Ethan, but no as my number 1, Ethan number 2. And I also just want to put this out there because I didn't really get to say this in my opening speech. I'm sorry we didn't get to talk to you that much, but I think I did talk to a lot of other people on your side, and I wouldn't say that like I didn't try socially enough. If you would have reached out to me a little sooner, then I would have been reciprocal.
Sounds good. And then now for you, Ethan. What do you think? Could you point to like one kind of pivotal moment during your game that kind of led you here?
I really do think that the pivotal moment was going into the jury and VC losing. I think VC was a gigantic wild card. VC was hopping back and forth. He was frantic, and he could be persuasive. A lot of people weren't biting, but that was so good for my game when he lost. He threw my name out there. He was talking to me a lot, just talking about me a lot, especially at the end, and that put a target on my back. So once he left and I was able to either be in the numbers or win these competitions to get to the end, that was probably, it's an under talked about part of the game, but that's probably one of the biggest turning points that got me to the end here.
What would you say is your biggest play of the game? Nathaniel, go.
1 minute left.
Truthfully, I think my biggest play of the game was taking out so many people. I had to step up to the plate when I had to. I won the Final 4. I won the Final 3. And
Thank you, Nathaniel. Miles, you?
Well, I also won the Final 3 and the Final 4. I survived that and not the Final 3, but I survived that. I beat
Right, thank you.
Okay.
First, Ethan, what type of moves do you think you made talking to other people that kept you safe in that sense?
So a big part of the reason why I was kept safe is because I knew when to talk to people, but I knew when not to talk to people. I purposely wasn't talking to everybody in the beginning because I didn't want to be seen as jumping around. There were certain players that were jumping around voice chat to voice chat. Particularly VC was one person, and unfortunately it didn't work out for VC. He was thrown into every riot, but it put a target on his back, at least for me, and I didn't want that. So I thought, especially in the beginning, if I can portray being loyal and then actually staying loyal and backing it up, that would do a huge favor for me in the long
1
term.
minute.
All right. Okay, Miles. Same question for you.
Okay, well, I kind of disagree with what Ethan said. Sorry, but I was very vocal in the first part of the game. I was talking to a lot of people. I was the one who told Taylor that VC came crying in our not crying, but like complaining in our call that the girls kicked him out of the call. I used that as fuel to ignite a fire in between them, and there was a little blowout in the final 9, and that's exactly what my portion of that was. And I will also say that there were more blowouts after that, and I played a loud and vocal game, still got to the same place as Ethan, so I've made a lot more risks than Ethan has. And I did talk to Dante more than Ethan has. I talked to a couple more people than Ethan has. And if that's what it comes down to, I think I won the social part and the strategic part.
I think the biggest blunder in my game was that I did come into the final 7 without the numbers. I could have done more work to do that, but I didn't.
Thank you, with Animal Miles, your biggest blunder of the game.
Once Noah went home, I had to completely adapt, and I think my biggest move was convincing Dante at the end.
Queries to see where you guys think the jury's heads are at with who you think is going to vote for you. So I'm gonna name the jury, and I want you guys to close your eyes and raise your hand if you think you have that juror's vote. We'll start with Modern. Okay, Hannah. Dante. Hudson. And myself. All right. Okay, you guys can open your eyes. All right, 30 seconds each. If there's one thing from your game that you could change, what would it be? Start with Ethan.
Truthfully, it's kind of like a weird question, but I wish that Jess did not go home, because before Jess went home, she proposed that you, myself, her, and Hana work together. And I thought that that was something that could carry me further. And then Jess lost the cup challenge, and then I was not able to speak with you and Hana about it privately. So that is that's what I wish I could change.
Okay, Miles.
There's nothing I can change. I don't have any regrets, and I know I'm not answering your question properly, but I can't think of anything otherwise. I got to the end how I wanted it to. I did have hiccups. I guess like Ethan lost his Jess, but I also lost my Noah, so we both had to adapt, and I think I adapted even better because I was creating a little more paranoia and something and I was like reaching out to the other side. I did tell you about what VC said, and I was trying to create things between others and deflect off of me.
And how do you guys feel having partnered this entire time only to be pitted against each other in the end? Both of you.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
It's all love. I campaigned against him in the final 3, but that was for me to get here, so I obviously do want to win at the end.
Man, I love that. Thank you, guys.
Hannah,
Sorry,
I can tell you now, you have won the award for greatest juror verdict in the history of
that was an
games.
interrogation, dude.
All the votes are in. I'm going to go ahead and take a second to tally up the votes. Ethan and Miles, welcome to talk amongst yourselves.
Even I'm so happy to get to final 2 with you.
I'm happy too. I can't believe it happened. I did not I really didn't imagine that it could
At the
happen.
final 9 when Noah left, I'm like, oh shit.
I know. Every time I'm counting our numbers, and I'm like, this isn't looking good.
Honestly, when it went to the final 6 and it was a 1 faction of 3 and not 1 faction of 4, that saved us.
Yes,
I knew in my heart. I was like, I hope.
Once I saw it was 3, I was like, let's.
I hope Modern gets saved, because Modern will be more willing to stay with us than Taylor or Dante.
Ethanimail and Miles, what a wonderful final 2 performance you both gave. Seriously, one of our best. And I can't thank both of you enough for coming on to this season. It was, spoiler alert, our best one. I didn't get to see a lot of it, but I was able to get a little bit of a peek, and wow, y'all fought for that win. I can't believe how great that season was. So thank you, everyone here. Pre-juror, juror, finalist, from the bottom of my heart. You made my Saturday night. This was amazing. Great cast. I'm so glad we picked the people we picked. To move on to our situation at hand. Ethanimail and Miles played this game hand in hand, had their own little side things going on, but in the end made it all the way to the final two together. First time in a live game where we really had a duo. I'm just kidding, Jake and Bill last season. But we had two players who were really tight the entire time, make it all the way to the end. Both of you are deserving winners. There can only be one. Miles and Ethanimel, are we ready to read the votes for the winner?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can just get it over with.
We're going to read the votes in juror order. You want to see your name. Modern has voted for Miles to win season 3. Hana has voted for Miles to win season 3 of Eradication. That is 2 votes for Miles, 1 more vote, and he takes it. Taylor has voted for Fanamail. Hudson has voted for Ethanimale. That is
Oh my
2
gosh.
votes Ethanimale, 2 votes for Miles. Dante has voted for the winner of Eradication Season 3 Live, Ethanimale. Congratulations, Ethanimale. You are the winner in a 3-2 vote. Amazing.
No way.
The jurors can unmute and congratulate. Same with our pre-jurors. Congratulations, Ethanimale. You have won Season 3 Live.
Congratulations,
Oh my
guys.
God. Thank you. Oh my god. They were the last 3. My heart was pounding.
Oh my god, wait. Wasn't last season also a 3-2 vote?
Last season was a 4-1. This is the only 3-2 we've had.
Holy crap.
Okay.
God.
That was the closest vote. You both earned that win. I feel awful for you, Miles, because you earned that win. Ethanimale, how are you feeling?
I'm elated and shocked, and I'm so grateful. Like, I really appreciate it. Like this, like I've said this 100 times, but like this is the first time I've done it. I really didn't expect anything, and I'm very like. You all gave me a run for my money. I am so humbled. I am just at a loss for words. So thank
I
you
have
for
to say,
everything.
we are the ones that are humbled on the production team that we were able to get you for this season, truly, because we're all such big Survivor, Big Brother reality TV show fans, and to have you in, and not only in, but kill it. I mean, dream come true for us. So thank you for playing. It was awesome that we were able to see you play. I'm glad you won your first thing, bro. Like, that's awesome.
Me too. I'm never doing another one unless you invite me back. I'll do that. I owe it to you.
This is Florangi from Eradication Live Season 3 with our winner, Ethanimale, in a 3-2 vote. Congratulations, Ethanimale. Thank you, all of our spectators watching on Twitch. Thank you, all of our players this season. It was so much fun. I think we might end our recording in our Twitch stream there. Signing off. Thank you all so much for joining in, and bye.
Goodbye.